patch 6.3 is a week away from when I'm posting this video, and it's about time that I release my ultimate preparation guide for patch 6.3, and so let's get right into it. First up is that there is a significant division of the content coming between patch 6.3 itself that we're getting in a week, and then patch 6.35, which is going to come a bit later. I'm going to make sure to cover 6.3 stuff first, and then 6.35 stuff later, since that's a little less pressing. First up, let's talk about content that is going away that I do recommend you look into during this next week, because it's kind of just gone forever after this. So first up is PvP, which Season 2 of Crystalline Conflict is ending when patch 6.3 drops, and there are many awesome rewards that I really don't think people want to miss out on. Like, there's multiple minions, there's this incredible dragon for instance, and I mean, it's dragon, so that's always epic. Secondly is that the Moogle Tombstone event is coming to an end, which unfortunately means that opportunities to get some of the awesome loot that it can give are going away pretty soon, and I did a video specifically on covering what loot and items I'd recommend buying and what items are only available from the event itself, so if that sounds good, check out that video. It's going to be in the description in the comment. And now moving on to the third big thing to watch out for, which I really have been trying to stress on my channel as much as I can. This is a big one. If you already own a house and you haven't logged in during the suspension period where they were not allowing the demolition timer to actually demolition houses, I strongly, massively recommend you, like, I'm kind of begging you to not lose your house in game. Resubscribe, enter your houses, and ensure that you reset that timer. As per the official website, the auto demolition timers have already been counting down since December 5th of 2021. Now, if they made a typo on that, that's on them, but they have said on their official article since December 5th of 2021, so we are well over a year after that. So major heads up there, I can't emphasize that enough. I know I'm gonna get comments of people saying, why didn't you say it enough? And I'm like, God, I've been trying to stress it in every video. Okay, now potential gloomy warnings out of the way. I'm sorry, that was all dark stuff. Let's get into some positive details here. Since we just spoke of housing, we're getting a total of 1,800 brand new houses added per world to all of the different housing areas, which in terms of preparation just means get ready and have at least 3 million gil on hand if you're going for a small house of your own. 1,800 new plots, with the majority of them available for personal housing, means that everyone has a pretty solid shot at getting one this round, dare I say even on Gilgamesh. We're gonna have to knock on wood for that one. Can Gilgamesh ever have enough houses? Probably not. Now, something incredibly exciting is happening to Island Sanctuary with patch 6.3, with what I can only describe as a complete revamp and overhaul of all systems related to it. They're updating the UI, they're adding more handicrafts, more animals, more stuff to build, and more like quests. I'm going to stop myself before I go too far and make this an Island Sanctuary video, but this is going to be an incredibly huge overhaul. If you haven't touched Island Sanctuary, I cannot recommend enough. Get your feet wet in it. I have so many Island Sanctuary videos that I'll recommend on this channel to get you up and started leveling as quick as you possibly can and getting into it. Even if you did do Island Sanctuary and maybe you've let your animals kind of they don't starve, but kind of just lay there just going, I need food. Would highly recommend you brush off the dust this week and maybe send out some of your handicrafts to get a little bit of those seafarers calories. And I will be doing a follow-up to this week before the patch drops on Island Sanctuary and how to like dust off what you know and what to go in there knowing. I'm just really hyped covering it. Island Sanctuary I think is such a fun addition to the game, but remember that the seafarers calories are everything. Sorry, I'm trying to stop myself from laughing and I'm failing. I'm just really hyped for this. Next piece of preparation is something that I say every single odd numbered patch. I make this recommendation every single time. Get in a hunt train. Sometimes I feel like I am the only one pushing the hunt train, but I love the community there. I love the people that run the train. I love it is such a positive environment, guys. I cannot recommend it strongly enough. You get tombstone rewards that can be used to get gil or complete relics. Remember that not the weekly cap tombstone, but the other tombstone can often be traded for things to make like the potions that people need and other items. Very useful, very good profit for gil, especially the first few months. You can cap your weekly tombstones. You get coupon nuts that you can trade in for materia or during odd numbered patches for twines to upgrade tombstone armor, or you also can get the accessory upgrade lube. I'm gonna splat my video on hunt trains down below before I go into detail dump, but big recommend. Seriously, odd numbered patches, always recommend it. Following in the footsteps of being able to upgrade your tombstone gear, which is something that only really happens on odd patches, is the brand new Alliance Raid Part 2 Euphrosyne is coming with patch 6.3, which will give people another chance to upgrade tombstone gear and get great glam, obviously. And I should obviously have the disclaimer is I know that a lot of people don't like Savage, they don't want to do Savage, but they like the item level, so this is the only real way for them to get those twins. Sorry, I feel like I need to say that. It's just really healthy for the game to allow even like people who aren't like super into Savage to get it. I think it's a good thing. Let's talk about preparation in a very funny way, which I know will get eyebrows raised, but there is a brand new addition to the MSQ, which is obviously important. We know blah 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 MSQ, shut up, why are you even talking about this in preparation? But I know a lot of people are coming to this video after sometimes not even touching Endwalker before, and I just need to emphasize, the MSQ is being tied to significant portions of content coming with 6.3, such as a brand new dungeon as well as the Extreme Trial, so if you haven't caught up to the end of the current story, I cannot recommend it enough. I totally do that. You want to be in that hype, you want to do that Extreme Trial. I love it. I am going to be farming the absolute heck out of that. How many of you do I bump into Party Finder when I do that? It's like so crazy because it's like they'll be like, oh my god, thank you so much, and I'm like, I love it so much. That makes what I do worth it. Just heartwarming. Anyhow, I digress. I'm going to move on. Now let's talk lightly about crafting and stockpiling items. I think that Zane Leonhardt, who I am a great friend of, who has done extensive, very in-depth videos on this, is definitely who I'm going to point at for this. I massively, strongly at this point though need to advise people to not try and buy items from the market board, because like I warned and unfortunately see play out every single patch rush this expansion, people are banking really high in creating a market bubble currently in our game, which I know sounds funny. A market bubble in a video game? 100%, absolutely, unfortunately. Largely a lot of the purchases like craft or gather material you'd have had to have made around a month ago, looking at the data, at least on Gilgamesh. But the flip side is if you do stuff like Island Sanctuary and you want to spend your calories for explicitly Gil, which I don't know until we see 6.3's content if I'd recommend that, I might even hold off. Or if you have another way to get material, like you have piles left over from before, from a previous patch, it may be a good time now to utilize them. Kind of get it at like the peak of the hype at the market bubble, like right before the patch when people are like, ha ha ha, I'm so smart, I'm gonna buy up the market board and then I'm gonna make a profit. The problem is we have too many smart people here and then they kind of like overthink it and they get kind of trapped in it, so don't be one of those people. I swear I say it every patch and it's not because I'm a jerk, it's because I keep seeing people trapped in this and then they're like, oh shoot, I should have listened to you because I spent 20 million gil and then I only got like 12 back, and I'm like, yeah, stop doing this. So other items that a lot of people aren't looking at is crafting crystals of all varieties. They are going insanely high price. Like I was paying like 9 gil for some of these crafting things. Like guys, the crafting crystals, any of them, they're currently like bubbled like crazy. Lastly, but most certainly not least, is there is a brand new ultimate raid coming, which has many people very excited about it, which I understand a lot of people really do shy away from even Savage raids, and they're just like, why are you covering Savage raids? We don't like that, which I totally get. And so ultimate is like, oh hell no for a lot of people. But for anyone prepping for that, standard advice is already have best in slot from this current tier. You'd really need best in slot and to always be using food during an ultimate. There's no question about it. You need to do that. That's just basic entry fee. An ultimate will be launching 2 weeks into 6.3, and I'm pretty sure that's going to be the final relevant ultimate for a good year. I'm going to be trying it myself, which I'm very excited and very scared about. I haven't done an ultimate since fucking Stormblood, so we'll see how it goes. Kind of scared. Now let's address the elephant in the room that I alluded to earlier, is patch 6.3 versus patch 6.35 content. Frankly, a lot of the big tickets 6.3 items are actually in patch 6.35, and we're not getting them next week. Like the relic grind, and I know a lot of you want to get into that super badly, or the deep dungeon, which is something that I will be streaming. Spoilers is I've been working around the clock this Christmas to get a new PC, getting cameras, getting backgrounds, CoffeeZilla set up, and obviously my website revamp that I have been very hush-hush on. I'm kind of like on the verge of releasing it, and I'm like, oh shit, we're like a week away from that, aren't we? Fingers crossed. So is patch 6.3 really as packed as I know some people will want it to be? No, not at all, unfortunately. So if you're a crafting guru, deep dungeon enthusiast, or relic hunter, you're gonna hang tight for a little bit longer. The Loffer's Beast Tribe also looks amazing. Anyhow, with that being said, I'm wrapping up the patch 6.3 preparation guide. I really hope this helps you guys out, and I apologize for my voice. I have gone very sick because unfortunately I was not exaggerating when I say work around the clock. But yeah, I love you all so much. Thank you all for the support lately. I'm gonna be delivering a huge piece of content next week. I am so freaking scared.